Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. It's crazy because I've heard about you through a lot of my mixtape partners, like my guys who's very heavy into mixtapes. And when people talk artists on Facebook or whether it's Twitter, and they, it's this artist is dope, this artist is dope. One of my guys is like, listen, I hear y'all, but this man Nick Grant drops classics. Everything he drops is dope. Like, how does it make you feel, like, you know what I mean, to be a new artist per se, but you really have a super dumb fan base that just loves the hell out of you, bro?
Oh, man, it's so dope. For so long, I didn't have a voice. I didn't have people paying attention to what I was saying. So to be able to drop bodies of work, some projects and stuff, and people have all this great stuff to say is like, you can't pay for that. That just shows that hard work and diligence and patience and, caring about the craft, that counts for something.
Right.
So it just feels good, though.
Now being a kid from South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
When people hear South Carolina, of course, period, the only thing they hear is Carolina. So you automatically think Duke, you think, Blue Devils, you think UNC, you think Cole and all these other things. But how were you able to make that voice in your region, in your market, to stand out?
Oh, man, just actually talk about something. I come from a background of, my grandmother raising me. So she was born in 1919. So you can only imagine the type of wisdom and jewels and gems she would drop on me every day, from her schooling. And my grandfather was the same way on my dad's side. I would go to his house on weekends and get the same, schooling.
Right.
So, unfortunately, I am the only one in my city. So everything that I say reflects on, Carolina and how people look at South Carolina. So it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse because people tell me all the time, like, yo, it might not be another after you, so you got to represent us well because we haven't had anybody from South Carolina. North Carolina and South Carolina is two different things.
Two different worlds.
Totally different worlds. North Carolina has a lot of different people and a lot of different people representing their state, but for me, I'm the only one. There was no crash test dummy to show me what not to do and what to do. I am that, so I got to represent it the right way.
Now, let's talk music, okay?
For sure.
Because a lot of people, again, these are my mixtape guru heads. A lot of people felt like the 88 mixtape could have been your album.
Absolutely. In my heart, that is my album. For so long, all those experiences in that project were like, I made it when I was 27 years old. It came out when I was 27. So all my experiences up until I was 27 were in that project. So that definitely could have been my album, my first album. It was a lot of stuff that I went through, a lot of personal things, a lot of things other people went through, personal things that I put into that body of work. So that's dope. That's dope to me that somebody considers that my first album.
Bro, listen, my guy puts that mixtape against anything that comes out right here. Like, yo,
man,
I put Nick Grant 88 against anything you want to talk about right now. Like, period. I don't care how new it is, how old it is, where they sits on the chart. And I thought that was dope to me. Like, for someone who listened, I thought it was dope. Like, when he used to compare him, like, bro, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and re-listen because you're hearing something that I might be missing. You know what I mean? And I think it's a great body of work, but I'm like, you're very passionate. And I'm like, you don't find a lot of people who are that passionate sometimes about artists. So I'm like, yo, that's dope for somebody who's just an average consumer to feel that way.
Much love and respect to him. I attribute that to, like, people that I grew up listening to from every era, whether it was Rakim, the Beastie Boys, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick, Nas, Jay-Z, everybody from every era, even my peers, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, all these people inspire me, so I have no choice but to be great, in that way.
I mean, and you drop great music, and now you got, you got the Return of Cool.
Return of Cool out now. Yeah.
Let's talk about this. I'm gonna name a track, and I want you to tell me your feelings for that track and why you put this on the album, all right?
Let's do it.
We got to start with one of my favorites, Luxury Vintage Rap.
Luxury Vintage Rap, so going back to the body of work, the Return to the Cool, I use the term the cool to describe, what I feel like hip-hop should be present day based on all the people that I grew up listening to from Golden Era hip-hop. So that was the standout track in me telling people, I know this project is like based around being cool, but in that I'm still trying to be the greatest MC or one of the greatest MCs to ever walk planet Earth. So in order to do that, I have to be aggressive. My tone was aggressive. The beat was aggressive. In doing that, I have to know how to be competitive and know how to, compete with the people that, people consider the king. So that's what that record stems from.
My next one, Drug Lord Couture.
Drug
Couture,
Lord,
I mean,
got you.
excuse me.
Drug Lord Couture that record was inspired by me being in the street and figuring out quickly that it wasn't for me. But, you know, it wasn't even that I was inspired by doing tough stuff or, you know, these people and their lifestyle. Was more so the material things that I was drawn to, whether it was the sheepskin coats or the Mercedes-Benz chains or even the Mercedes-Benz, the girls that they had, you know, different things, the lifestyle. You know, I was attracted to the lifestyle more so, you know, knowing that they have to get up every day and risk their lives. That wasn't for me, but I love the fashion sense of Drug Lord Couture. But it's also a come up story in that, you know, showing people that you don't have to be a drug dealer or be a certain type of person to have success, you know, from where you're from. So
that's real.
Yeah.
Let's do Get Down, because I really like the production behind it. Like the beat on that is so crazy to me.
Lil C, shout out Lil C, who's very influential in like a lot of T.I.'s music.
Okay.
So he produced that immediately. I thought it was like Pharrell. I just walked in.
And that's what I thought. Like when I'm like, I gotta ask him. Maybe he'll tell me did Pharrell do it or not, because it had that feel to it and that groove to it. You know.
For sure. Nah, Lil C did. Lil C is like very, very gifted, very genius producer. So just walked in the studio and heard it. You know, I come from that early Star Trek sound, early Bad Boy sound. Like when I hear stuff that I, you know, can relate to, I love to rap on it. So it just came out how it came out.
No,
you know, also Bombs Over Baghdad by Andre Outkast, you know, and Andre 3000's flow on that was like incomparable. So, yeah.
All right, my last one I'm gonna ask you about. Let's see. I'm trying to pick one of my other favorites out this joint.
Yeah. Sometimes. Shout out BJ the Chicago Kid who did backgrounds on that. And Dominic Gordon, who's like my right hand producing sound. DJ Khalil produced it though. Sometimes just telling people that you don't wake up every day feeling the same way. You know, sometimes I might feel like this, sometimes I might feel like that. Sometimes I listen to Future, sometimes I listen to 21 Savage. Sometimes I listen to Stevie Wonder, Joe Sample, Take 6, Nas, Jay-Z. I listen to, my life is balanced, so don't expect me to feel the same way every day. I wake up differently, I go to sleep differently, so sometimes.
Now that's so dope. The Return of Cool in stores right now. Your man Nick Grant sitting down with your boy B Swift.
Yep.
You did a dope television performance on Stephen Colbert. I think I'm saying his name right.
Yeah.
How was that for you to get that invite and to do that melodies of records that you did?
Man, for me that was like a dream. You know, I'm in the studio like looking up at the lights, pinching myself. I was telling my manager while I was there, like, man, I used to write rhymes for 10 years. 10 years that nobody could hear. Nobody, only my best friends could hear. So to be on a platform like that where the whole world can hear you and tune in and you got a band and, you know, those moments are like special. You can't pay for that. So
at all. No, that's crazy.
I'm blessed, man. Like I still like look around and be like, what am I doing here?
It's so unreal.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's next for Nick? I mean, of course, the project's moving. You out here moving around the streets and making sure that people hear the project, that people can touch the project, and you know. And I think you're doing a dope thing with these listening parties. You're doing the silent listening joints, and I think that's very dope. You know what I mean? It's different, and it's exposing people to something different. So, what's next for Nick?
Oh man, just consistently, you know, being one of the greats. You know, my thing is being put in these conversations with the people that. The new generation kings, I feel like the Mount Rushmore kings, the
Coles,
you know,
and all of them
the
guys.
new kings, well, the old kings will never change. People are always gonna say their name; they're like the standard.
Right.
But as far as like this new generation, I don't want you to say certain names without saying mine. So that's my goal. And I know for me, in order to do that, I got to put out strong bodies of work. I got to keep doing it. I got to, you know, pump out the music to get people going and speak about me. So it's still early.
Now, before I get you out of here, I always ask artists this when they come in. Have you received a phone call from an artist that you've looked up to or that you admire, or maybe ran into them and they're like, yo, your music, I'm a big fan of it. You know what I mean? And this might be the Outkast or the Jays or the, you know what I mean? The Kanye's. Have you had your experience where you like, yo, such and such said they like my music?
It's been a few people that I love and admire, but the number one thing for me, so first album I ever bought was Aquemini. You know, I used to sit in my room and just listen to music. My brother used to play ATLiens, and when I was young, you know, my cousin, he broke this line down to me, my oral demonstration be like clitoral stimulation to the female gender. I grew to find out that was Andre 3000. So, hanging out with my manager one day, he gets a phone call. He's like, yo, ride with me. Roll with him to the studio. Andre 3000 is in there. So when I walk in, I guess it was like a surprise. And he was like, yo, just like bowing, like, yo, I'm such a fan. I'm so inspired by what you do. Keep going. Then he says, I'm gonna come to your show. Just let me know when you're in the city. So I'm looking around like, man, this guy ain't coming to no show. Whatever. Industry talk, you know, you meet a bunch of people like, whatever, you ain't coming to no show. Get to Dallas, shout out Dave East, I'm on the Hate Me Now tour. And I had 3000 coming down the hallway just talking, like, where Nick at? Take a picture or whatever, I want to see him. So I'm looking around like, is that 3000? Like, he really showed up. Not only did he show up, he's like in the front row just vibing and rapping.
Oh, wow.
It was dope. So that's like equivalent to, you know, being a high school basketball player and Michael Jordan or LeBron James is coming to see you. So I messed up a few times on some of the records, but it was like a dream come true, bro.
Nah, that's super dope. Cause I mean, you can get them mess ups when it's 3000 in the front. You like, yo,
absolutely,
dude is watching. How do I put the best performance I've ever put on?
And I put up the picture. People was like, yo, y'all need to do a record together. And for me, him just doing that and having a conversation and loving the music is enough to keep me going for like 10, 20 years, man. For real, like just him coming out and supporting it and letting me know what I'm doing is right, you know, for the culture was enough. Like he never had to give me nothing musically. Again,
just the support,
just the support, just to know, like, you know, this guy was my superhero at one point. Still is like one of my, you know, hip hop superheroes. So for him to come out is like,
speechless, like, bro. Crazy. It's Andre. Like, absolutely. You show up at a show, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Nas as well. For Nas to, you know, meet Nas and him tell me like I'm watching, keep going. You know, that's like dream come true, bro.
It don't get no better than that, right there.
Man.
Well, I want to say definitely appreciate you coming through tonight and hanging out and talking to projects. We definitely got to get you in Naptown some more and,
for sure.
And do something crazy because the people out here they respect it and they know it and you know
absolutely.
what I mean, and they on it. So
already I know where I'm at.
Come on. Again, I need you to shout your Twitter and Instagram out for the people because you know some people are like, I don't know how to vibe, just do I don't know. So
all social media handles at Nick Grant Music, NickGrantMusic.
Naptown, my man Nick Grant in the building. Make sure you follow it. Make sure you go get the album, The Return of Cool, right now.
Return of Cool out right now.
Out.
Get it.
Get the Apple Music, Google Music, whatever you buy your stuff and enjoy it because it's definitely. I won't call it a fresh take because I don't want nobody like Swift, you're dissing such and such. No, but it's a breather. You know what I mean? And it's a great
go
project.
Ahead and diss them, bro. They disappointing right now. Man.
You right. Hey, I mean I'm with you when you're right, but no, it's definitely a fresh breath to the ear and it's rap and you know it's musically and it's there. Everything is there for it. So I definitely want to say thank you for that great body of work and everything you've been doing so far.
Appreciate it, man.
And that's on the way. Congrats to your success.
Thank you for just letting me come up and talk about my life and my ideas, my music, man. You know, ain't no telling they gonna love you tomorrow. So I just appreciate you.
Anytime. You know, you from a small town. Indiana, people say it's not small, but to us it kind of is. And you kind of got a story like us. We waiting on that one guy
for sure
from the city to blow, and
for sure.
You know, to see somebody else from somewhere that put their city on their shoulders and to go up is dope. And we always want to celebrate that success. So
absolutely, bro.
You know, we definitely appreciate it. Naptown, that's what it is. Nick Grant and B Swift on High 96.3.